Hey, it is your girl Raquel May David. My co-host David Sanchez will be here momentarily, but I wanted to go ahead and let you guys in. How are you doing? What is your day? How is your hump day going? Thank you for coming on in. If you guys have any questions, concerns, comments, please feel free to go ahead and we're going to allow about 5 to 10 minutes for everyone to come on in the room. Um, I'm so sick of. So if you guys have any questions while you guys are waiting, please feel free to go ahead and hop off of mute. Let's have that conversation together. How are you guys today? I see some new faces. Welcome back, Pretty Washington. Lovely to see you. Martin iPhone, Mr. I think it's McCurry. Lovely to see you. If you guys have any questions, concerns, we're going to open the floor. When you come on in, let me know if you've already sent out a round of letters and kind of where you are. You can drop it in the chat. Let me open up the chat as
Hi,
well.
how are you?
Hey, I'm great. How are you?
Doing pretty good. I have a question. Is there a I guess like a community or like a library of um I guess terminology we could use for late payments when we're adding in like editing, adding in the specific message in the little
A
uh
library of terminology.
Yeah, or like just like specific USC codes, that you could use for late payments to get late payments off specifically.
So have you looked at the FCRA and seen what are the codes that they have for late pay? Are you talking about codes or are you specifically talking about verbiage? Because I want to make sure I'm answering the right
I
question.
guess kind of both. I guess
Okay.
kind of both. Like
So
when
have
we're
you gone
sending
to the
out,
the FCRA? Have you gone there and actually download the manual and look through the codes? Because
not
that's
all
where
of
I would
them.
suggest you to go.
Okay. Is there a way I could have that link possibly?
Hold on, let me go ahead and
Because I mean I know like a few, like 16, 66B, but I mean I guess I kind of want like a flow, I guess. Like there's a flow for the disputes and everything, but is there like a flow for like late payments, I guess, specifically?
there's not a flow for late payments specifically. We only have
Okay.
that one flow that covers everything, whether you have repos, late payments, charge off, or whatever. So I want to make sure that I'm understanding your question. So first question is, where can you go to get the codes for the Fair Credit Reporting Act? You can actually go to the Fair Credit Reporting Act. You can go to Bureau of Justice, the Bureau of Justice Assistance.gov. I will drop the
Hmm.
link in the chat. That's where you get the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And you can read through the Fair Credit Reporting Act and pick out what you need specifically. So if you're
Okay.
looking for the codes and you're looking for the laws, you're going to go back to the FCRA, right?
Gotcha.
But
Gotcha.
if you're asking for a flow that has those codes or like codes in sequential order for you, no one has
Hmm.
done that. So you would have to do that yourself if you're specifically wanting to tackle, let's say, late payment, or you're specifically
Okay.
wanting to tackle charge off. That would be a task that you would want to kind of take on yourself. So if you're looking to see where to get the Fair Credit Reporting Act verbiage, I have dropped the link in the chat, and you
Okay.
guys can leverage the actual FCRA to help you be more intensified, or if you want to create laser focus, you can do that.
Okay. And
Very
just
cool.
want to make sure that I'm understanding also correctly, because I've been on the call before, but when we're sending out the disputes without editing or editing that message, um, the disputes is only it's only meant to get things deleted, right? Not like the late payments,
That's
right? Or
incorrect. If
oh, oh,
the
okay,
letters are going to be specific based on what your client's account has. So there
Mhm.
are late payment verbiage in there. There is specific verbiage to get deleted or removed. There's verbiage to get updated. So you do have to sorry, I was looking over here at the chat.
No, you're good.
You do have to every letter is going to be formulated based on what your client's information is on the report. So if your
Right.
client has no charge off, no collections, but they have late payments, then the letters are going to have the verbiage according to the late payments that's on that client's profile. If your client has no late payments, no collections, but they do have a lot of inquiries, then the verbiage is going to be specific to that. Does that make sense?
Right, but I mean, I'm just making sure. So you have to go in and edit, if you're trying to tackle late payments, right?
You do not have to edit anything. The letters are
Oh,
generated
okay.
based on the information that is on that specific.
Gotcha.
So if
Oh, okay,
that
okay.
specific account is a charge off, then the verbiage is going to be linked to a charge off. If that account is a late payment, the verbiage is going to be specific to a late payment. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yes. Gotcha, gotcha. Okay.
Awesome sauce. Love the
Thank you.
question. Do you have
Yeah.
anything else for me?
Uh, I don't think so. Not right now. If I think of anything, I'll maybe pop off or raise my hand.
No problem. We got 4 more minutes before we go live. Okay.
All right.
Um, Thank you so much. And grab the link in the chat
Okay, I will know.
so that you'll have access to it as well. As a matter of fact, I found a shorter link. Hold on, let me grab this one. Fair trade commissions. So you guys will have 2 points of access for the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and you can see which one's visually more appealing. Any other questions, guys, that you guys have? Welcome in the room, Dakota. Detrice, hopefully I said it right. Athena, I love that name. My favorite cousin's name is Athena. Well, one of them, because I do have several. Hey Chris, hey Storm. Any questions before we get started?
No, ma'am, but thank you for asking.
My pleasure, my pleasure. So is this Chris the guy that was on before, or Chris the girl that was on?
This is Chris the guy, man.
Hey, bro! How you doing? I was like,
What's
I need
up,
to know
y'all?
who it is. I
What's
need to. I
going
was like,
on?
y'all always trying to get me. I was like, y'all trying to get me caught up. Y'all trying to get me caught up. There were two. Y'all are if y'all are new today. Last on Monday we had two Chris's, and they both had Chris, and I had to be like the boy Chris, the girl. They was trying to get me caught up, okay, in these streets. But I love the question. So have you sent out any letters since Monday, Chris?
Yeah, sent out some inquiry removals and one only have one negative item, but it
Okay.
was so cool because it printed out really well, and I was
Mm-hmm.
able to print them all out, and mail them all out, and we'll see what happens.
I love that. I love that. Y'all, I'm on a water challenge. So unfortunately,
Oh,
this is not tequila, and the water is winning. I am not. The water is winning. I am not, y'all, but I'm so happy that you guys are here. There are a few people that loaded in. If you guys have any questions, let me know. If not, we're going to dive into the content that we are here for on today. Let me know if my volume is okay. If I need to move the mic closer, I will. Cool. All right. So thank you guys for coming tonight. For those of you guys are first timers, my name is Raquel May David. My co-host is David Sanchez, and I always say that we were meant to be, honey. Okay, so we are here on tonight to talk to you about the world's most advanced and effective AI-powered credit repair software. The goal of tonight is to not just tell you about the software, but we are going to set up the software today. We are going to add a test client in, and we are going to complete our first round of disputes. After I complete that, throughout the course, I will be able to stop and kind of have conversations. If you guys have questions, if you've already used or sent out a letter. I know Chris just told us that he has. If you guys have already sent out a letter, there are some emojis in the chat. If you want to go ahead and drop an emoji to let me know that you already have sent out a round of letters, it'd be greatly appreciated. If you have not, just say no. It's completely okay. So I kind of know who's in the room. Or you can do like Chris and give me a thumbs up, so I kind of know what we're dipping and doing. Okay, come on. Thank you for the cooperation. Okay. So on today, I'm going to cover some specific things on this page. And then on the next, once we get into the application, I'm going to go in a little bit further and show you guys a lot of the integration and a lot of the technicalities that come to the pro. For tonight, we are going to be going through the software on the free platform. We are going to talk about the differences between the free and the pro platform, what nuances you get. Oh, Storm said that they're printing now. Come on, somebody. So I saw that Athena said no. I saw that Pretty Washington said no. And I saw Dakota said no. So can you guys hop off of your mute, whoever wants to go first? Do you guys have the system, and are you just afraid to send out the first round, or what's the apprehension? I want to make sure that I'm kind of like highlighting some questions that you guys may have.
This is Dakota. Hi, everybody. Peace and blessings. I haven't used it yet because I feel like I need a little more training before I do, but I plan to get the paid platform, and I just want to see the process and sort of repeat it.
Awesome sauce. I love that. Dakota says that she has the platform, but she wants to get a little bit more footing under her belt. I love it. Was a former customer of the company that used Dispute Panda. Excited to use it for myself and provide the services for others. Come on. Listen, I need to know how to make profit from the pro version. I love that. So I think that no matter whether you have the pro or the free, you can make profit. Let's be clear. You just have to make sure that you are charging right. Okay. You're going to make money if you're in the rooms, you're talking about it. A lot of this is going to take time. A lot of it is going to take time with you being I call myself the mayor of credit for my people. Every room that I go into, I talk about credit. Like me and my husband went to the club. I like to tell y'all I like to tell y'all the truth. I was in a club. Usher was playing, because you know that's my boyfriend, y'all. Okay. He don't know we go together, but we do. And Usher was playing, and then Trey Songz was playing. And in the midst of it, I'm like, girl, why you ain't use your credit card for this? why you not swiping your card? Like, do you understand how much you're exposing your bank account? And my husband is like over in the side, like, of course you would find a way to talk about credit. And I will. And I do. Everywhere I go, I'm talking about credit. When you save me in your phone, it's not just Raquel, it's Raquel, the credit lady. Okay. I'm trying to make sure that you have what you need. Okay. I'm really serious about that. I want y'all to have what you need. So even if you don't go with me, I want you to get so sick and tired that you go with somebody and make this happen. Okay. Detrice said, I think I say that right. It's Detrice. It says, I'm new and ready to learn about the program. I'm so excited that you're here. We're going to walk through this together. Hey, Chris. So Chris the woman is here with the camera on. Y'all know I love some camera. Chris, I need you to send me an email, because every time you are on here, your camera is open and you are engaged. So I want you to send me a private message. As a matter of fact, I'm going to send you a private message. I need you to email me so that I can give you a free lead magnet. Okay. I'm going to give you a free lead magnet. I'm going to go ahead and send you my info now, because you are always amazing. And I'm also going to send the information to Chris the Guy, because both of them are always really, really engaging. Tell me why Chris the Guy just turned around and put the question mark in the chat. Okay, so everyone on this call, as long as you guys engage, go ahead and send me a message. I'm going to drop my email here. Send me a message in the actual subject line. I needed to say lead magnet. Y'all can say whatever you want in the body, but say lead magnet. Okay. So we're gonna give and take. My energy is very vibrant. Okay, y'all. So if y'all not vibrant, I don't know what y'all doing. I don't know what y'all gonna do. Hey, Tyrone, welcome to the room, my love. Welcome. All right, so thank you guys that are able to have your cameras on. It does make it a little bit easier for me to interact and engage with you guys. I'm going to go ahead and get started. And for y'all that know, y'all know, I like to talk about money. So along this program, we're going to talk about what the cost is. We're going to talk about how you can make, I like to call it drip money or quiet money. And I want you to, Miss Chris, the lady, if you can email me directly with your email, like send an email to the email I put in the chat and just put lead magnet. I will make sure to reply back tonight before I go to bed or early in the morning tomorrow with your lead magnet that you can edit for free. No worries at all. No worries at all. So I like to talk about drip money. Drip money is the money that you make without you doing anything extra. Okay, that's what I like you to do. So I can't, no problems at all, my love. You're participating. I appreciate the participation. And every couple of weeks, I do try to give away a lead magnet for those that are there. So my email is in the chat. If y'all participate, I like to give away free. And y'all have been engaging thus far. So let's dive right on in. Okay. So the pricing for the Dispute Panda, there are 2 tiers. One is the free platform. And if you are doing this as a startup business or you're doing this for your friends and family, this is ideal. You can go ahead and utilize the free version of the platform. It allows you to store the IDs, store the documents that you need, and it also allows you to generate a tax. So in the system, it's going to call it as a tax. Normal systems, you hear they use the word rounds. A tax and rounds are the same thing. They are dispute letters that are going to go out month after month after month. On the call tonight, when I load my test client, I'm going to show you guys how to use this program, whether you're using the free or the pro, and get a free round of attack every 35 days. So we're going to dive in together on that. But the free program, just think of it as a housing space for your clients. It gives you the ability to go ahead and generate the letters, have everything stored, have the credit reports in there. The pro is $1 for 14 days and then $197 every month thereafter. The Pro gives you the ability to have a host of integratable features as well as some really dope upgrades that I'm going to show you once we get into the software. But you have a safe client access portal. So that means if your clients want to email you, you want to send emails to them, there is a secure hub for you to do that. So if you are in the CRO community, which is a credit repair organization, right, you have the ability to leverage the Pro because it will have your logo on there. It will have an interface for your clients to speak to you, you to speak to them, your merchant service connected, your contracts in there, the whole nine. And I'm going to show you guys a little bit of what I can. And then once I go through the full free platform, I'll go ahead and start sharing my screen for my Pro test account that I have that you guys can look at. The Pro yearly allows you to pay the $1,970 for the full year. And then you get 2 months for free. So if y'all like to save, like I do, you guys get the ability to do that. What I want to point out is on this platform, whether you're using the free platform or the Pro platform, if you're using any other credit monitoring software other than Credit Dino, which I'm going to go through, you are going to be paying $17. So if you are using Smart Credit, if you are using Identity IQ, if you're using MyScore IQ, you are going to have to pay $17 per round, which is per attack, for your client. So you're only sending out letters every 35 days. So that means month 1, you're sending out, you're going to charge $17. Month 2, you're going to be charged $17. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Cool. All right. So once we cover that, that's the pricing point. Any questions on the pricing structure at all? If not, we're going to jump into training. All right. So the training segment is okay. Is that no? It's $17 per month. So you are only paying that $17 every 35 days because you should not be coming in earlier than 35 days. Because if you're sending the letter out, you want that 5 days for the letter to get there, 30 days for them to process. Unless you are in the state of Maine, they have 21 days to process. And then you can then do the next round of letters. So it's not per bureau. The attacks come out in the 3 credit bureaus on the free version. So you're getting all 3 bureaus attacked at one time. So you only pay that $17 per month, every month that you're coming in. Is there an app? The answer is no. At this present time, we do not have an app, but a great question for both Miss Pretty and Chris. There's not an app right now. Where they're kind of focused on something else, but I'm quite sure if enough people ask for it, we'll get one eventually. Okay, I like to say eventually because they like to put it in priority of what people need. And right now, you're not even able to use Dispute Panda on your phone. They want you to use a laptop, a tablet, but mostly a laptop or a desktop for you to process. Okay, great questions, guys. Come on. That's right. Send me these emails so I can go ahead and give you these free landing, these lead magnets. Okay. So the training tab is the next tab that we're going to go over. The training tab, before we go any further, I need everyone to click this free download. If you guys are watching this on the replay, before you go down and look at anything, this is going to give you a step-by-step guide of what letters you are going to pick, how often you are going to pick the letters, as well as the secondary bureaus that you are also going to send the letters to. So I need you, before you do anything else, before you send out your first round, I wish I could turn my camera around, but I literally have a camera right there. I literally have the dispute flow on my other wall where my daughter does work. I actually just rearranged my office. So I got to move it over there. But this dispute flow works whether you have collections, repos, charge off. A lot of people have asked, well, I don't have the pro. I'm going to tell you what the differences are. The pro, with the pro, if you're using the pro and credit dyno, you get the creditor letters. If you do not have the pro, you can still use this flow, guys. All that you're going to do is you're going to pick the same attack method. You're going to follow the same days. You're just not going to have the option to send out creditor letters. Okay. But this guide it's been tested, and it does give you a full 12-month sequence. So a lot of people ask, well, does it take a full 12 months? It depends on your client's profile. It depends on how you're navigating the water. So I can't necessarily 1000% say, yes, this is going to take 12 months. You might have a client that you're able to go in and dispute, and because of the errors, because of the inaccuracies, because of all of those things, we're able to go ahead and get what we need off. And we're also able to make sure that they're handling their accounts properly as well. And we're going to go over a mini portion of my consultation. So you guys are able to go ahead and hear and see what that kind of looks like. Okay. So you have the free download. When you scroll down, you have the videos. We are only here Monday, Wednesdays, and for the pros on Thursdays for roughly about an hour. So if I am not here running my mouth, Dave is not here running his mouth or clicking the buttons, okay? You guys can get the support that you need on the videos. If not, circle back around, bring your program or site questions, and it is my pleasure to go ahead and help. But they have everything here from how do you add a client, what each one of the tabs means, broken down. It kind of goes through everything for you. So a lot of people jump here and they miss the free guide that is up here available for you. So if you are brand new to this credit repair game, you're not quite sure where to start, where to pivot, you want to go ahead and download this guide in order to know what you're doing and how you're getting it done. Okay. Let me, I hate when this thing does that. Hold on, y'all. Okay, here we go. All right, the next option is the contact tab. The contact tab allows you to talk to customer service, and they are here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I love our customer service team. one thing I personally do, and I love sharing this with everyone that's here. If you guys been here before, you know, y'all heard the spiel. I use this free program called loom.com. If I'm having an issue and there's a glitch happening on my screen, you're able to record up to a 5-minute video showing the screen and what you're going through. Once you're able to do that, you actually have a shareable link that you can literally drop right here. And when that link is clicked, it sends you a message that the video has been viewed. Okay. So I don't want anyone to feel like, oh, I'm trying to explain and people are not answering. I use the Loom video, not just for that, but I create a video for my clients every other month where I go over what we talked about, how everything was executed. I used to do it every month, but since 2024, I do it every other month now, where I go over what happened in the last month, what changes have gone on. If there's a big jump in the credit score or there's a big drop in the credit score, up or down, I'm creating a video and I'm going over like, hey, these are the things that you need to focus on. Or my love, look at what you've done really, really well. And I take that video and not only do I put it in an email, I literally send them a text. And I'm like, hey, I need you to watch this video about your credit report. This is the information for you. So that way, it's another way of staying connected and nurturing them that you know what you're talking about and what you're looking at, okay? So I did drop the link in the chat for loom.com. If you have any questions on documents, rounds, mailing, subscriptions, anything, you can go ahead on the client support. If you have general questions, like you want to be a part of the beta team, you want to know about partnership, you want to know about press, okay, press. You can go ahead and copy it here. The team will funnel the questions to the right team that will be able to answer your questions accordingly. So, any questions on the 3 tabs that I've just reviewed? Ugly kid, welcome to the room. Ugly kids. I feel like that's what I be saying. Never mind, don't worry about it. Dan, welcome to the room. Any questions on what we've just covered? Tyrone over there laughing at me. Don't laugh at me. I be calling my kids all types of things, okay? I be sitting over here like, y'all are blessed and highly favored if y'all don't leave, okay? If y'all don't go, seek Jesus. I'ma seek these hands. But, you know, I love them. They mine. They look just like me. That's why they problematic. That's why they're problematic. I need extra help with uploading the credit reports. Okay, so you were having issues. Did you book a call with me, Miss Chris? No? All right, I'm gonna drop my link for you to book a call. Or the other option, remember, you can always go ahead and reach out to customer support and they can always help you as well. But if you want me to walk you through, I will go ahead and drop my link in the chat. Give me 1 second. Abby. Why is Kendrick Lamar playing in my head, y'all? And he is. He really is. Hold on. No. We're going to minimize that. And I will drop my booking link. So if you want to, they not like us. They not. Hold on 1 second. Let me grab my appointment types and Dispute Panda. Okay, because I want to make sure y'all have the right link with the right times to dip and do. Okay. Boom. All right. So let me get back here. So definitely, if you want to do a one-on-one, you can go ahead and book with me. If you have questions or if you're having an issue, take the Loom video. Make sure you're using Loom. Again, Loom is free. It's not costing you anything. You can sign up for Loom. I sent the link for you guys. You can do a video and show them what's going on. So you have to record your full screen and you have up to 5 minutes to do it. So if you want them to help, you can go ahead and do that video. If you want me to help, I drop my my actual booking link in the chat to help you out. Okay. All right. So here goes the fun part, y'all. I'm going to sign up. I'm gonna show y'all how quick this is, okay? Because I'm lightning. I'm not. I'm fast. Okay, I'm a quick whippersnapper. I'm going to show you guys how to sign up to the platform here. And what I want to point out is that you want to make sure that the email address that you're signing up the account with, if you're going to add yourself in the profile, is a different email address as the user. So there's going to be an email address as the owner of the account, and then you need to have a separate email address as a client to the account. You have to make sure you have that difference because the system will not allow you to have it. So if you only have one Gmail account, go ahead and create that another Gmail or a Yahoo or AOL to kind of leverage, okay? Now, if for some reason you start this out and you're doing this as just a personal entity, and then you go ahead and forward and say, never mind, I want to do this as a business, that is more than fine. All that you would have to do is make sure that you come back in, and I will show you where you guys are able to do that. You are able to come back in and change that information to the business information, and I'll show you guys once we get in the platform where you do that. The email. So I like free stuff. Okay. I done said that when I started. I like free stuff. I like discounts. I'm nosy. January, February. Okay. I know who I am. I need to know what's going on. So with that being said, I will sign up for special offers, products, updates, resources. I want anything free 99 that you can give me. You don't have to sign up for that, okay? However, you do have to go ahead and review the service agreement with Dispute Panda. It tells you how you are to do business with Dispute Panda and how Dispute Panda does business with you. So I'm going to scroll down. Don't sign anything until you've actually read it. I'm not going to read it during this call, but you guys can read it later. This black bar is going to come up here because of the fact that I need to verify my email. I'm not going to do that right now, but I'll still be able to go through the whole platform without any issues. Rule of thumb for best practice is that you want to go ahead and check it out and verify your email within that 24 to 48 hour window. Okay. With that being said, I'm going to cover everything that's on this screen. We're going to go over all of these tabs on the side, and then we're going to dive into the settings. Question: if a client was once attempting to do their own disputes and they decide against it, then seek my service, how do I get them out? How do I get them out of their email? Are you asking if the person did Dispute Panda before, you mean?
Yeah, they did Dispute Panda before. They tried it. Well, they were doing their own service, and then now they enlisted me. But when I put their email in through me, it says
It's
client
already in the
already in.
system. They would need to give you a different email address. You can't get it out the system. They would need to
Okay.
give you a different email address. That's why they can't have the same email address in the system with multiple users. And just as a rule of thumb, you want to give, if they've already sent out a round of letter, you want to wait a 60-day window before you start disputing.
Yeah, it's been over a year.
Okay, so then you're good. Yep, just tell them to give you a new email. That they can still use the email for like the credit monitoring, right? But they can't use it in the system. They'd have to give you a whole new one.
Okay.
Okay, great question. Great question. Come on in, Tyrone. That's what I'm talking about, friend. Okay. So on this main dashboard, you'll be able to see the rounds that are due for your clients, any missing documents, and birthdays. Right here, we're going to talk about drip money in 2 sections. If you click this earn free credits, you can sign up. All you have to do is click accept. Once the program goes live again for you to be a referral partner, you would get free credits for anyone that signs up under your login information for Dispute Panda. So you can just simply click the accept tab. It will go through. And you don't have to worry about doing anything additional. All you would do is take your referral code. If you guys go to real estate events, if you go to dealerships, car dealership events, if you know realtors or someone that might be interested in getting into credit repair, you definitely want to go ahead and get that affiliate link, and that way you can tell them about the software that you're using, that you're getting great results on, and earn credits for them having people sign up. Now the affiliate program is currently on pause, so I tell everyone to sign up, so once it goes live, you guys will get your email with that dedicated information on there. Okay. Becoming an affiliate. This is a nice, quiet drip money making situation. Credit monitoring softwares all pay, okay? You want to make sure that you get, I don't care if you're using all of them or you're just using one. One of the things that you want to do is get your own affiliate link. Credit Dino pays you anywhere from $8 to $22. They do have different tiered packaging. So if you choose to get a higher package, you're able to go ahead and get paid more out for your referral of that client. How they pay out is they pay out once a month. Once you hit $100, you're getting your payout. Okay. If for some reason you don't hit that $100 next month, but this month, but the next month you made 200, then they're just paying you out the full 200. But you have to be at that $100 cap for you to receive your payment. And what I do with this is on the 1st, the 15th, and the 30th, I'll drop a post talking about when the last time you checked your credit. Last month was Financial Awareness Month. Every day I was talking about pulling your credit. If someone clicks the link, they are now in my email sequence. This is how I have it. So once they sign up for credit monitoring, they're getting nurtured by me anyway. So when they're thinking about credit, they have a question about credit, I'm already in their eyesight, right, for them to see. So that is something that you can leverage. This option to upgrade to Pro is where you can go to upgrade to the Pro service that gives you shareable reports, onboarding forms, one-click import, Zapier, all those good things. And I'm going to show you guys that once we get a little bit further. This report tab basically gives you your activity on the reports. And then if you're wanting to find a client, there is a magnifying glass here. You do have to type out 3 characters to find a client, or you can click the client tab. If you select the client tab, you can see the active clients, you can see your inactive clients, and if you need to import from a different, let's say CRM, a different system, you can go ahead and import the CSV file. If you're having an issue, send the CSV files to customer support. They will go ahead and support you with getting your clients imported in, okay? If you're wanting to do it on your own, you're just going to click new client and you can type the information here. If you guys are in the Pro version, you would simply click this invite. It will send your clients a link that they will be able to click on, and they will be able to upload their own identification. They'll be able to see your invoices, all of the things in one specific space. If you do not have the Pro, it ain't doing nothing. It's not sending nothing to nobody. Okay. You just click the button and it ain't nothing gonna happen. All right. All right. Now in my Tabitha Brown voice. The letter tab is where you can see the letters that have gone out for each of your clients. I like to point out that the system can mail letters out for you. The letters go out Monday through Friday only. If you mail the letters, and you want them to go out same day, you have to have it completed by 12 p.m. PST, which is West Coast. Okay, so where Nipsey and them was at, you're over there. If you are doing it after 12 p.m., it is not going out till the next business day. Okay. If you are wanting to track, you have to use certified mail. If you're using first class, it is not tracking anything. It's not doing anything at all. So I want you guys to be aware of that in its totality. You are able to track to see where it goes. Even if you're doing first class mail, it does give you an estimated date of delivery. If you are doing certified mail, it gives you the tracking code. You don't have to log into the USPS. The tracking information is connectable here. All you have to do is click on the left, left click on the tracking link. It will automatically open you the USPS file. So you don't have to go to take the link and then put it over there. Now, we like you to click on one thing, you're taken to where you need to go, and then you come back into the software and you're good to go there. What else was I going to say? So that's the mailing. You can use a system. I have been asked before, do I use a system? If I am traveling, 1000%. I also utilize it now. I want to say in the last 15 days, I have been utilizing it because I do have the Pro for my creditor letters. I will have the system mail out my creditor letters. A lot of times, if I see that the addresses for the creditors are the same, because it's generating a creditor letter for Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, right? But sometimes the addresses are different. So if the addresses are different, I will let the system mail it out for me. If they are the same, I don't. So I want to correct that. But my creditor letters, I do let them send it out because that's one less thing I have to print off and stuff. But I normally do mail off the letters to the credit bureaus directly because they are very much geotag unless I'm traveling. My accountability partner, she uses this system and they send the letters for you all the time. Okay. David just dropped the guidelines in the chat when it comes to mail. So if you guys have any additional questions, please feel free to go ahead and refer to that. Inbox. The inbox is a pro feature that allows you to safely, you said letter stream. Some people use letter stream. So I personally do a power of attorney for my client. So I include my power of attorney with every round of disputes that I have. So it does not benefit me to have the system mail it out because I have to insert my power of attorney to the credit bureaus. So unless for some reason I am traveling, that will be when I will go ahead and allow the system to mail it out. And then what I will do is send my personal information letter separately with my power of attorney there. Normally I'll do that as soon as I come home so that way they still have that POA. But that's just my method of doing it. Not everyone has a POA that they're leveraging. So if you are not leveraging a power of attorney, you're just doing sending the letters, by all means, if you guys want to send it out, you can leverage the system. I just personally know that with every round of disputes to the credit bureaus, I normally add my power of attorney in there. So that normally does get printed. If my children are not traveling with me, guys, I legit do not send it out. If my children are not traveling, I'll send the file to my daughter and just have her print it out and have her stuff it, and I'll pay her to go ahead and send the letters off for me. It just makes it easier for me. All right, so the inbox is where you can talk to your client safely. The reports. Let's talk about the reports. Did I just do that? I did. Hold on, y'all. Because I'm always starting trouble. Hang on one second. Shaka Khan. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do this, and then I'm going to open the chat afterwards. Share. I'm going to open the chat afterwards, and then that way we can go through. So this is what the reports look like on the corporate level. When you have the pro, you have the ability to have this not just on the business level, but you have this on the client level as well. So you are able to go ahead and actually pull these numbers for your clients. It shows you what their score increase has been. You can see what the total deletions are. All of that information is available for you on the client level on the pro. And what you can also do is take this information and you can go ahead and use it as a marketing tool. So if you have your logo in here, your logo will be up here, your website will be here, and your phone number would be there. And you can actually drop that information through the software itself to go ahead and show what impact and massive movements you've been able to make since you've been doing it. A lot of people stay away from the negative, but y'all need to follow me because I talk all about the negatives. I'm actually going to do a video today talking about denial letters because I have time. Okay, I sure do. So while I'm going to try and search my screen, I'm going to open up the floor really quickly. Do you guys have any questions on what we've covered so far? Hold on. Any questions, guys? Hey, Tyrone, what questions you got today?
So every time, when does they update for the client? Like, does it update automatically? Like, for why is it there after 35 days? Because when I click in there, I don't see it. It's still showing like the same disputes or
You would have to update the information yourself.
like what, refresh?
So let me ask before I answer that question, what credit monitoring software do you have?
Dino.
Okay. So on the document tab at the bottom, if it's after 35 days, it says one-click import.
Oh, so
Do
the
you see
update
that?
they knew it.
So
Oh,
you have to
I'm
do the one-click import in order for it to give you the updated report.
okay.
So if you don't do that,
And
you're not going to get anything.
okay, and how would it be with others if they had identity IQ or my score
You would
IQ?
have to log into their platform, update the
Okay,
credit report, and bring it over to the profile under the document tab.
okay, thank you.
Great question. All right. Detree said, hey, girl, hey, welcome. Is this onboarding for folks who want to start a business doing credit repair or folks who want to repair? Both. So this system can be used as an individual if you're wanting to repair your credit, your husband's credit, your cousin's credit, or if you are willing to do this as a business. So some people, when they launched their product, it was literally for credit repair organizations, which is known as CROs. However, we noticed that there were a lot of people that were brand new to credit repair, which is why we have decided to go ahead and have these classes so that we could go ahead and have a deeper conversation and go over a lot of the things that people are not aware come with the software, such as you have a clear workflow. So even though you are brand new to credit repair and you might be doing it as an individual, you would have the ability to know what letters you're going to send, how frequently are you going to send them, and who else do you need to tap in on besides the 3 credit bureaus that is going to go out? Great question. Any other questions, guys? I see a hand up. Let me see. Hey, Chris, what questions do you have, my love?
Okay, so I was trying to understand if I'm doing it as a business and I'm putting, and so say my customers are signed up with Credit Dino.
Mm-hmm.
And when I click, am I going directly into their credit profile?
I don't understand the question.
Right.
When you click where? What do
When
you
I
mean?
click the credit Dino. So am I uploading their credit file from like a credit reporting agency?
If you have Credit Dino, it's pulling. Okay, so I want to make sure that I'm answering the right question. So let me go ahead and this is Credit Dino, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if your client has My Score IQ, right? This is My Score IQ. So you would be getting the report of all 3 credit bureaus, leveraging My Score IQ. You would be doing the same exact thing if you're using Credit Dino.
Okay. They're paying
Because
for that
it's a
service,
credit
right?
monitoring. Right. As long as they paid for the service, they're getting all 3 credit bureaus, ideally every single 35 days, right? So when you put in the login information and you click that one-click import, it's importing the full file. So right now, how you have My Score IQ and you have to go and download the file, make sure it's a HTML, bring it over. You don't do that with Credit Dino because Credit Dino was built to speak to Dispute Panda. Am I
Okay,
making
so when
sense?
you, I'm just trying to get an understand because it is new to me.
Mhm.
So if I have a customer that has Credit Dino,
Mhm.
I have to have their personal information to log in.
You have to have their username and password, just like you would need to have it for My Score IQ. No matter what credit monitoring software they have, you have to have the username and password in order for you to gain access.
So that's what that's what's supposed to be. Oh, okay. I think this is the problem that I'm having with uploading the credit profile because I don't have the right understanding. So I have to have their login information for it to come up properly.
Correct. So last week what you said was your clients were on My Score IQ. Wasn't that correct?
Right. They were emailing me their credit report. And I
They
was
cannot email you your credit report. You need to have that's why on the tab, I specifically showed you on the document that it has a section for the username and password, but I also showed you the video. So my question is, did you end up looking at the video that I showed you in the training tab?
I did. I looked at the video and it kept saying to put in like their information. It was kind of confusing me because I guess I just wasn't understanding
Yes.
that that's the only way we can upload their information is with their sign on.
Correct.
That's
Because
what I
if
told
they're
her.
sending you just a PDF, there's no
Yes.
way for you to change that. If they're sending you their credit report, there's no way for you to change that into an HTML file. When you log into the actual MyScore IQ, you have the ability in that video to change it to HTML from PDF. So if they're sending you their credit report, it's not going to be able to work. You have to have their username and password in order for you to support them.
That's my problem. Okay. That
Awesome sauce. See, I like that. We over here solving problems and kissing babies. I kiss my baby. Don't worry about it.
If you don't have good understanding, you're at a loss. And that's where I was, at a loss. Now I have a
Yes,
better
because I was like, what
understanding.
you talk about?
I didn't know.
No, that
I
makes a lot of sense. So I didn't know that you didn't collect it. So thank you for bringing that up, because now I'll include that in my calls. When you guys are working client files, y'all need to get these username and passwords for the credit monitoring. If they're going to send it to you, let's say for a consultation, that's fine. You can send me your credit report for us to do a consultation, but my system needs to have access to your credit report, and I cannot rely on getting it from you every single month. Sidebar, I charge a fee. If I go into their credit report twice in 1 month, I'm charging for my time because I need to get your letters out. Okay. So I have a schedule fee breakdown that clearly says if I have to log in more than once, you get charged $10. Okay, for me having to log in. So I cannot rely that next month you're going to remember to log into your credit monitoring and send me that download. I need to have complete access to it. So you need to get, if you're using Identity IQ and MyScore IQ, you need to get username, password, and last four of social needs to be there. And that's why that information is on that document tab. So you already have it there. And if you need to go into the software, because you need to log in first, anything else, it's available. For the guys that are using Smart Credit only needs username and password. And Credit Dino, on the screen, I will show you guys where it only has a one-click import. So you don't have to worry about anything at all. I'm so glad we cleared that up, Miss Chris. I'm so sorry we didn't understand that. Yeah, girl,
I was about to bust a blood vessel. I was like, it's not working. Okay.
You better ask them for their stuff, friend. You better ask them for their stuff. And if they act crazy, be like, ma'am, Mrs., your credit bad.
I guess I was giving them the wrong information. I said, okay, send me your credit report and I'm going to upload it. That's totally not how it works. So I got it now. I got it. Thanks.
It is my pleasure. It's my pleasure. I'm taking a while. Okay, I'm trying to make sure I answer everyone's questions. Okay, cool. So lovely that we got through that. I never even thought to ask that question, so I will add that into my FAQ. Ask some people for their login information and stop playing. Tell them stop playing with me. Okay, I need your information. Follow up question or follow up when it comes to the subscription tab. This is where you're able, and I will show you guys once I go into my test account. This will, as a matter of fact, I think I can go into my test account right now so y'all can see. Hang on. Let me sign out of this one. Log into this one. Okay. So when you click on the subscription tab, guys, you guys can connect your credit monitoring. You can create plans. You can create forms. You can add to, you'll have shareable links, or you can embed, or you can embed it into your website. So this is where you go to make online forms if you guys need to be able to have people sign up. So let's say you're going to a speaking event. I normally try to hold a speaking event once a quarter. I like to do a free credit repair class. With that free credit repair class, I do offer you guys to come in. You can sign up to my credit repair software. You can leave with letters, right? If you want to do it for a DIY, and then I normally offer a discount on my done for you services. My discount is always on enrollment, never on anything else. And with that, if they sign up right then and there, because we've already pulled up their credit report, we've had this conversation, it's a safe space, right? They're able to go ahead and use the QR code. I take the form, I put it in a QR code that's in Canva, free again. I like to show, I think I had it over here. I'll show on the next class. I have a nice little form. It has a QR code and they can actually scan it right then and there and sign up. So that way they can pay for it for the month. They can get everything together, upload their documents literally in real time. So this is what you get with the subscription tab. Okay. When it comes to, let me make this a little bigger. I see a question in the chat. What's the fee for to get pro? So pro is $197 per month after the 14 days for $1. Or you can pay for a full year for $1,970. Great question. All right, the training tab and the contact tab. Again, I'm click on the training tab, y'all. Click on the free download if you guys came in a little bit later. I want you guys to have the guide because we're going to need it once we add our test client. Go ahead, Ms. Chris. What questions do you have?
Okay, so I just want to know when we're going into the client's credit report, can they tell what software we're using? Do they know it's Dispute Panda?
How would your client know? Did you tell your client that you're using Dispute Panda, or are you
No,
asking as a system?
I'm asking, like, how much will they know what I'm using?
No client ever knows what system you're using unless you tell it. So like for me, if you follow me on social media, I tell everyone I use Dispute Panda. So my clients are aware that like if they follow me on social media, that's the software I'm using to dispute. However, they don't know my flow. They don't know what I'm doing extra because I do have my own sauce, right? But the systems that talk to each other, and if you're using My Score IQ, remember they're not getting that information. My Score IQ is not getting your information. Because with My Score IQ, you're logging into My Score IQ, you're downloading the file as an HTML file, and then you're dropping it into Dispute Panda. When you're using Credit Dyno is speaking to Dispute Panda. Again, unless you're telling your client what software you're using, they have no idea because they don't know what you're doing. Yeah. Yeah. So the only systems that speak to each other like organically is Dispute Panda and Credit Dyno. Those are the only two systems that speak to each other. Even if your client signs up for Credit Dyno, you're going to have an affiliate link. They don't know what software you're using unless you're proactively letting them know. And if you sign up for the pro gives you the ability to put your own logos. So on the customer, and this is why I would say, if you guys have this software, you want to put yourself in because you can send yourself the Safe Client Access portal and you'll be able to click on it and see that it's a white label program. So whatever information you told the system is the only thing it has available. If you didn't upload a logo, it's just blank. But it will still, if you have your business name in there, it will have your business name in there for them to see.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, that helps a lot. I want to know what did they know? What did they see on the other side? Okay.
On their end, it's white label. So it literally just shows, I'm going to see, I think I have, hold on. No, don't do it. This is what it looks like on the other end for the client. Can you see my screen okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it doesn't say Dispute Panda anyway, right? And
no at all. So your company name would be here. So if you guys have the pro, if you do not have a company name, it would just say your first and last name. Does that make sense?
okay. And are we giving them access to go in and check and see, like, well, I guess they would have access to their own credit reports anyway, and they will see what's being taken off and what's being updated, that kind of thing.
They will get alerts. I've had a client who went in prematurely and updated her credit report, which threw me off because now she went in before the 35-day window and she went in before the 35-day window. So when it was time for me to dispute her profile, I had to pay the $17 for her round, even though she had Credit Dyno, because she decided to go in before. So after that experience, I literally went and sent every single one of my clients a text. Hey, I want to reiterate, I'm a 40-day window client, company. I will send you a video every 45 days. I did rechange the verbiage this year to every other 45 days. You will get a video every 40 days. You will get an email that you can book a call if you have any questions. But that was an experience that I had where the person did not do what they were supposed to do because they went in prematurely, and then it cost me $17. Right?
Okay.
But as far as them seeing, this is exactly what it looks like on the client's end. Great questions. Great
That
questions.
helps. And you send them a email of this?
So I don't send them an email of this. I do send them their updates though. So on the
It's through the Safe client.
I don't send them anything through the Safe client. I have an email sequence that I literally grab it and then I put it in the email and I let the email go out to the client. So my update emails, I literally have an email sequence that I literally just grab the screenshot. So let's see for this client. So I would go on updates and I would grab this screenshot. I would hit share report. I would download this and then I would literally put that downloaded image in an email to the client. I also use this on my social media. So I'll literally send it to my VAs and have them put it in the email sequence. But I don't, what's the verbiage I'm trying to say? I do not, I don't do it from the Safe Client Access portal. You can, because you can send them an email. You can literally send them an email and they will have access to that information under messages. So if you choose to do it in the system, that's fine. Great questions. Let me go ahead and find my page I done lost, Chad. Because I always do this. Okay, cool. We're back. Great questions, guys. Oh, Deetris, I think I'm saying your name right. If I'm jackhammering it, please forgive me. Charge it to my lips, not my heart, okay? Is there a document or website that shows me step-by-step how to get started? I already have the free account, but now what? So this class is showing you step-by-step how to get started. If you go to the training tab, there are videos for you to get started. And the very first thing that you want to download, which I cover, but I want to make sure that you got it, is you want to download the attack flow. So if you are saying, hey, I'm brand new, I don't know what to do, that's what this call is going to go over, is literally step by step what you're doing. So in a moment, I'm actually going to load the client in. I'm going to do the first round of attack and I'm going to show you how to do it. But if you click on the training tab, give me 1 second. All these videos are showing you what you need to do. So if you want to know how to go through, it's going to take you step by step by step, but we're going to go through it on this call today. Great question. Anything else before we dive back into the other stuff? I love these questions, y'all. Let me see. Is this onboard? Okay, cool. So I like to click on this tab. This takes you to your settings, or you are able to go ahead and click on these 3 dots and click on settings. There are ways that you can see this training. It is being recorded. You can go to the community. Hold on 1 second. Let me log into the community. Oh, thank you, my love, because you know I be jackhammering name. Okay, I'm from foreign. Don't listen. Don't judge me. All right. I'm from foreign. I mean it nicely. When you go into the platform, if you're in the community, you can click on Panda Live. It will show you all the past videos that we have so you can watch the replay. The other option is you can also go to YouTube and you can go ahead and watch the replays on YouTube as well. So either one of them will work for you. All right. Cool. Great questions. All right. So I like to start from the top because that just makes sense. Okay. So at the top is your profile. This is your information. If you decided to get married like I did, Chad, you can go ahead and come up in here and you can make the changes accordingly so that now it has the right information. You can also, did it just default me to everything? Hang on 1 second. I want to make sure I am not in this platform. Give me 1 second, y'all. because I want to make sure that you guys are seeing the free platform. Awesome. Okay. So if you click on this tab and you click on profile, this gives you the ability to make changes. So you can change the email address if you now have a business. You can edit the phone number. You can put the picture. Sidebar, the picture only shows if you have a pro. If you have the free version, the picture is going to show in the platform only to you because it's never going to go to a client, right? So think about the free version as an operating system. You generate the letters, you process everything, you can house the information. However, the pro version gives you a layer that now you can communicate with the client. So if the client has a question, a concern, or a comment, they can send you a message and you guys can have dialogues back and forth. Okay. That's one of the biggest changes. And I'm going to further show you guys some other stuff. The organization tab gives you that once you switched as an individual over to a business, you can go ahead and put in your logo, your address, your phone number, and also your contract. I'm going to drop a sample contract in the chat. Anyone that needs it, you can go ahead and grab it. What I do want to say is that the contract is sample. It is not specific for every state. So you want to find out exactly what needs to be in your contract so you have it. But once you have it here, you can do custom fields. So you can drop the actual contract here and then add client's name, and it will pull the information for every single client you're sending this out to. Okay. If you want to add team members, you have the luxury to add a team member. So that way you don't have to give them your username and password. You can physically put in the information here and you can have as many team members as you like. The affiliate link gives you the ability to have the affiliate links accessible. So you can grab the link for Credit Dino, put it here. You can grab the link from Identity IQ, put it there, or all of the others. What will happen is if you have the pro, when the client logs into the portal to kind of sign the contract and upload their documents, they will also have an option to select for credit monitoring. You can have all of them on, or you can have only the one on that you want to be promoted to the client, and you just have to click save changes and it will then show up on the back end. Okay. This disputing option is only for the 3 major credit bureaus. So I had a call last week, no, I think it was this week, where someone was new. So since I do know that we have mix of people in the room, the credit bureaus, or the 3 major, there's actually about 4 or 5 major credit bureaus if you want to be technical, but the ones that we normally know about is Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. With those 3, those are the credit bureaus that house your information, generate a score, and send the information out to creditors. However, on your credit report, you have creditors, and that's like the Bank of America, the Regions Bank, all of those entities that you had an account with, or your accounts may have been sold, that show up on the profile. There's also something known as a secondary bureau. The secondary bureau is who feeds your information when you are applying into the major credit bureau. So if you apply for a house, if you've gotten arrested, if you've gotten a ticket, if you apply for a job, there's secondary companies that are pulling that information, like Hire Right, that holds employment information, Clue, which holds driving information. Hire Right also holds the background check. So if you've had an arrest, you can see that there. Those companies are also feeding information into the credit bureau. So depending on the client you're working on, you may have to go to the secondary bureaus as well, not just the primaries, for you to get resolve. Okay. So that's why this particular flow gives you access. So when it says attack name, that's the letter type you're selecting. Attack variation is how aggressive the wording is going to be, and that's an option in the flow. But this is going to go to the primary credit bureaus for that $17. The static letters are free as long as you have at least $1 in your account. And I'll show you guys that once we load our test client into the software. Okay. Any questions on what I just covered? Because I know I'm like talking. I'll make sure I'm getting everyone. Cool, 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 cool. So if you need to change the address, because the credit bureaus do have anywhere from 8 to 15 different addresses, okay, y'all? So sometimes you might see that you're getting letters back from, let's say, 9706. If you want to say, okay, well, my next round of disputes, I wanted to only go to that address, you're able to come in here and actually click on that option and make the changes for the credit bureaus only, okay? The billing tab, this is where you can go and log in your payment option. You can solidify a standard payment. You can upgrade to the pro for $1. And what I love is that they give a subscribe and save. To Miss Detrice's point, a lot of people that are doing this is for themselves, right? A lot of people caught wind of the Dispute Panda, the fact that we do factual disputing, the fact that we do AI is included in the flow, and we do Metro too. A lot of individuals that wanted to fix their own credit said, oh my gosh, I want to sign up as well. So because of that, not all of them were buying like $500, $600 worth of credits because they were only doing it for themselves or their family. Again, if they were using the other credit monitoring softwares, because we didn't roll out Credit Dino until after we launched the product, they were having a situation where they had to pay the $17. So the minimum amount that you can load is $20. So we saw that there were a lot of single individuals or people that were just starting out that were only loading $20 at a time to help their friends and family. So what we decided to do was go into the system and say, okay, we know $20 is really bought a lot, or $60. So now you can sign up every 30 day. Every 30 days, we bill you $20, $60, and you get 50% more. I want to clarify that if you sign up for subscribe and save, that is the only place that you're going to get the bonus of 50%. If you have subscribe and save and then you add $100 here, you're only going to get the $100. The only part that you're going to get the subscribe and save for is the $20 or $60 option. Please also make sure that on this, you're only utilizing your card, not family or friends that you might be working on. You need to only use your card, okay? The invoice tab gives you the ability for you to see the invoices. You can see the pro state charges, and you can see any statements that you have for your clients. The activity tab tells you the attacks that you've done, what has been mailed out, and any attack credits that are available for you as well. So those are the options that you have. Please remember that if you have a couple, each of them have to have their own. If you're using Credit Dino, no, doesn't matter who you're using, they have to have their own credit monitoring setup. So if Daniel and Sarah are married, Daniel and Daniel are married, don't matter who married child. If they married, each of them have to have their own credit monitoring in order for it to work. So you cannot roll attack credits from one person to the next. Okay. They have to have their own profile. The integration tab is where you can connect it to Zapier. So when I was talking to Miss Chris, I let her know, like, I take the information of the updates and I go ahead and put in the email sequence. Well, when my clients onboard and they sign up, I have a Zapier connection that starts them with an email sequence. And depending on what I select or what the client tells me their focus is on, they're going to get education on home ownership, or they're going to get education on auto if they said that they need an auto. They're going to get education on student loans if they're saying they need student loans help. So all of that information is going to be available, right, within the system itself. So the way that I have it is when they complete the onboarding form, I have Zapier acknowledge that that onboarding form is completed, and then it sends that whole information that was collected into my email sequence. And whatever they selected, it then starts sending them that nurturing email information there as well. Okay. The referral tab is what I showed you guys earlier when it comes to the referrals, so that you can go ahead and get drip money that we talked about earlier. So any questions on what we covered so far? Because the next thing that we're gonna do is open up and load a test client in. So any questions on what we've covered so far, guys? Let me know, let me know. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, here you go. No questions? I'm checking the chat. Hold on. Did I get any private? Nope. Hang on 1 second. No questions? Okay. All right, all right. So we are going to go back to sharing and we are going to load the client in. So Miss Detrice, if you are here, definitely, I'm going to show you how you're going to load a client in and we are going to go through the first round of disputes together, okay? So let me get my test client up and ready. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and fill this information out. The only thing that you are required to fill out is the red asterisk. That means that has to be done before that information has to be collected or it's not going to move forward, right? I personally do like mothers, daughters, sons, uncles, cousins. So a lot of times if they have similar names or the same name or a junior or third, I will put that information in there. So especially if they use it, I will put that information in there so that I can leverage it when I'm having dialogue. So I know which version of the, like not version, but like I'm speaking to junior, I'm speaking to the third. So it's a lot more accessible to me. But all you need is the first name and the last name. If they don't use junior, they don't use the third, then it's not necessary. When you are loading the email, you want to make sure again that you're using a different email address. If you are doing this for yourself, you are able to keep the same phone number in the system. Okay. When it gets down to the address, guys, something that I've seen is that people will put all the information on one section, meaning the city, state, and zip code. No, it has to go into its respective places, or the letter is not going to be printed properly. Okay, and we want to make sure that we don't have that hiccup that happens. The birthday needs to be accurate because we're making sure that we're putting the accurate birthday, because we want to have, the goal is to have one name, one address, one date of birth, right, on the profile. So you want to make sure that this is accurate as it's going to go out with the letters. If you have the pro, as I stated earlier, you're going to click invite client. If you don't have the pro, you're just going to hit save, and that's it. I am going to, give me 1 second, because all right, there we go. So I am going to show you guys this document and I'm also going to drop it in the chat. Any of the videos that are showing you how to process letters is going to show you this. What do you need to send for the attack? This is also, I screen grabbed this from how to add a client to Dispute Panda credit repair software and get a free round of attack. So you guys can grab this. This is documentation that is going to be required every single round that you are sending out for your client. What I like to point out is number one, the valid driver's license. If your client just moved, and we have someone in the audience that just recently moved, so with them just recently moving, they may not have an updated identification. If you do not have an updated identification document, you are going to move from the driver's license to something else on this list. Social security card, paycheck stub, W-2, anything that has your current address on it, that is what you're going to leverage for identification. For proof of address, if you are using a residential bill, your utility, gas, cable, you want to go ahead and make sure you're updating that information every 60 to 90 days, because we know that the credit bureau is very, very, very good at stalling you out. You don't want to give them an added reason to do so. I want to point out that there is another tab. Hold on 1 second, guys. Move this down. There is another tab here that says optional. If you are using the social security card as your proof of identification, you do not need to put it in the optional tab. You only need it in one designated space. Okay. So I'm going to show you something that I love to do with this platform. So the client gives me a full bill. Number one, the credit bureaus don't need to know all this information. What they need is just this information down here. They need the date on the bill. They need the address. They do not need to know if the client is past due. They do not need to know all this bill. And also, because we are running a business for profit, we want to lower our overhead as much as possible. Your goal is to get the identification between 1 to 2 sheets of paper. That is going to be the goal. Okay. So you want to crop out anything that you may not want to have showing for your client. So if they have it on a big piece of paper, tunnel in, you're able to go ahead and drag and crop what you don't need. Okay, so I'm going to drop the ID in here. And in this case, I do have a dummy social security card. So move on, pal, you're able to utilize that. Question in the chat. What do you mean when you say update the utilities so it's every 60 to 90 days. So every 60 to 90 days, you would come in and if you're using a residential bill only. So their residential phone number, their water bill, their light bill, any residential bills. So if they're using their cell phone, you don't have to worry about this. But if you're using a house phone, you would have to come in here, delete this old bill, ask your client for a new bill, and then put that new bill back in the system. Great question. So you have to get an updated bill because this date needs to be within 30 to 60 days. Anything outside of that, the credit bureau will kick it out and state that they can't confirm that you are where you're saying that you're living. So that's why you can pick something else on that list that I dropped down for you. Great question. Great question. All right. So on this call tonight, I'm going to show you guys how to use Credit Dyno. The Credit Dyno software I'm going to grab the person's username and password. And if they're not using Credit Dyno, just a rule of thumb, I suggest that you put the person's information in here anyway. And the reason that I suggest that is because if you can keep everything in one place, you don't have to search around for it. So if they're using Identity IQ, My Score IQ, whatever it is, go ahead and click that option, put the username and password in here so that when you come back next month, you don't have to call the client for the information again. You already have it. And if for some reason your client hasn't paid and they forgot their username and password, you can actually go ahead and click on this to reveal what the username is and send that information over to the client. Okay. But with Credit Dyno, all I have to do every 35 days, guys, is come in here, click this one-click import button, and it is going to grab the client's credit report, drop it in here. Oh, no. Hold on. Let me grab another client. I guess she hasn't paid for her credit monitoring. Give me 1 second, y'all, because I like to show y'all in real time. Hold on. Let me see who else I got. Does credit monitoring company have to be one of the 4 listed? Yes, it has to be one of the 4 listed because Experian does not allow any third-party system to gain access to their HTML profile. Great question. So you have to use one of the 4 that is compatible with the software. Give me 1 second. Let me grab somebody else. Let me see if I can grab hers. All right, I just grabbed someone new. Let me go back to sharing. Question, which program is better, Dyno or Panda? So Credit Dyno is the credit monitoring software. It does not generate any letters. Dispute Panda is the software that does generate letters. So if you are comparing, you would be comparing Credit Dyno to like Smart Credit or Identity IQ or My Score IQ, because that's what Dyno is. Panda is the actual software that is disputing the actual credit report for your client. So it's not which program is better. Dyno specifically gives you the credit score and the report for your client. Dispute Panda disputes the actual information. Great question. So as you can see, I just pulled in the report for the client. I didn't have to go anywhere. I put the username and password in, and I clicked this one-click import. And now the dispute tab is showing for me. And now I'm able to go ahead and start disputing for my clients. Okay. So I want to go ahead and talk about what you guys are looking at. When you look at your client's profile, the system is going to automatically select any negative accounts that are impacting your client's profile. So this one's a charge off. This one is also a charge off. I want to talk about this one really quickly. So this one is saying, although this account contains late payments, removing it may affect the credit profile. The reason that this was here was previously we did not have a late payment letter. We now do. So previously, when we didn't have a late payment letter, we would put this icon up here because although it may be impacting the client score, we did not want you to select it because it could create a problem for your client. Now, in this particular case, this account is open. And there's several things that you want to take a look at. And give me 1 second. I'm going to go into it in one moment, but I want to go back to going over all of the things that the system does. So the system will automatically select anything that is impacting your client's credit score within the last 24 months that are accounts or public information. Public informations are repos. Public informations are liens or judgments, bankruptcies. That's what you would see under there. If it's not, sometimes child support will show up under there as well. If there is not any, you will see that it won't even show. If your client does have it, it will be right under the inquiries. The system will not, however, select options for inquiries. The reason being is rule of thumb is you never dispute an inquiry that is attached to an open and active account. So what you would do in this particular case when you come in is if you're using a window-based computer, you're using Control F. If you're using a Mac, you're doing Command F. It will open up this search window here, and then you're able to copy and paste the information in to see if the client has an open profile connected to that particular inquiry. Now, when you see things like this that says BRCLY, once you guys start using the program a little bit more, you'll be able to know what these abbreviations are, but this is Barkley. So I can go ahead. I'm sorry, it's called Barclay. You can go ahead and type it in and see if there's an account, or you can see if the abbreviations up here shows down at the bottom. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. So that's why I always tell people to kind of, when it comes to those abbreviations, you want to go ahead and read through to figure out how it's working. But right here, when it says credit monitoring, credit reporting service, you can actually copy it, paste it. I wouldn't do service. I would just do credit reporting and see if you see it anywhere else in the drop down. If you don't, then you can click it and you can dispute that. Rule of thumb is if the inquiry is attached to an open credit card or credit line, I do not touch it, because you run the risk of, if you click on that particular profile to dispute it, that it could potentially close the account. You do not want that to close, because that can impact your client's credit score. It will affect their utilization. It will affect their age. It will affect their payment history going forward. So rule of thumb, you want to make sure that you're not selecting an open and active account that is attached to an inquiry. Okay. Question in the chat: which credit monitoring company do you suggest? I suggest Credit Dyno, because Credit Dyno gives you a free round of attack every 35 days. I have been with all of them. I still have my affiliate link with all of them, with Smart Credit, with Identity IQ. I do not have one with My Score IQ. I didn't sign up with them. But when I'm looking at doing business, Credit Dyno was created for Dispute Panda. So that's a no-brainer for me. Number two, my incentive is, if I'm with Credit Dyno, not only do I get paid off of the client signing up for Credit Dyno, like I would if I had an affiliate code with Smart Credit or all of the others, but I also get a $17 per month credit. So I'm not right off the top, I'm in the black with my client instead of in the red. So if I'm using Smart Credit, I'm coming in here and I'm paying $17 a month. So that I'm going to have to add to my base price that I'm going to be charging my client. Number two, if you have the pro version and you're using any other credit monitoring, you do not get the creditor letters. So if I have the pro and I have Credit Dyno, I don't pay $17. I'm making $8 at minimum per month. I get my free round of tax and I get creditor letters. So for me, I use Credit Dyno. Unless there's a glitch or something that's happening in the system, which has only happened, I want to say it currently just happened where Experian, I think, no, Equifax wasn't showing on the report. I do keep my backup Smart Credit, but it's not something that I always do. But for me, I like free. Okay, so I do stick with Credit Dyno. When you click message, is that where you can type in law and Dispute Panda AI will create? So that's a great question. So when you click this here, this is where you can embed your own pieces of information. So Tyrone, that's a really good question. It does not create a whole new letter for you. So if you use it, what I've heard is if you use a Supreme Boosted and you put your verbiage in here, let's say you have your own consumer law that you want to add to this particular flow, you are able to go ahead and use that code. One second. You can go ahead and use that code and you can save it not only just for now, but you can actually save it as a template. You can click and save for the future and you're able to save it. And then anytime you see an account like that, so if you have a specific verbiage that works for charge off or a specific code that works for collections, you can go ahead and use it. I've been told that when you select Supreme Boosted, it includes both your verbiage with the AI letter. If you're using any other flow, it will not print the actual letter you selected, and it will only print the verbiage that you have put in that message. So I hope that makes sense. Let me know if it's clear or if it was confusing anyone. But you can go ahead and put your own little spin on something. And if you change your mind, you just click the button and you hit change your mind. It will delete it and it will only generate the verbiage for that AI round that you selected. All right, so I want to go ahead and click on this really quickly. I love when you're using Credit Dyno, there's some benefits that I love that the system does. And one of it is clicking on this wonderful eye icon. Let me start here first. I'm going to start with the negative account that's closed. So let's say I was having a consultation with this particular client. I'm able to have a detailed conversation with her that says, hey, this card was a $300 card. The highest balance was $369. The amount that's owed is $69, right? I know it was a revolving card. I can also click on payment history and I can see what that payment history is for the client. Oh my gosh, you're doing great with your payment history. I would also say, hey, according to the payment history, it says that, your payment history is worth 35% of your overall score, which equates to roughly 192.5 points. So that means on this particular account, you're getting the max. Now, if you have other accounts that you have a balance on and you're less than 100, well, now we have to talk about making sure you make your payment on time. So you see the discrepancy. It says oh, I'm sorry, it was still defaulted. Sorry, she's at 31% over here. There was a glitch in the timing. It was still on Capital One. Sorry, guys. So this person's only had 31% on time payment history. So the conversation that I would have with them, because they're only at 31%, is, hey, you're not getting your max points because you're not making this payment on time. Let's talk about what on time looks like, and let's make sure that we can set it up on automatic payment so you're not having impacts to your actual credit score. But then I can take it even one step further and talk to them about the account health. So if their utilization is higher than what it's supposed to be, so if their credit limit is 300, but they're utilizing 4,000, 400, 500, we're talking to them about that utilization because that's worth 30% of their score, which is roughly 165 points. So I'm giving them tools and tips to understand that these letters are great, but your behavior is also going to create massive movements forward. And how can we make sure that we do that properly? So now we're going to go to the Capital One account. Okay. So the Capital One account, the payment history is at 96%. So this person is getting most of their account, right? There's discrepancies here where we're now going to touch. So for me, the old system originally did not have a late payment letter, but the new system does. Personally, I would not dispute this particular profile for a couple of reasons. I wouldn't dispute this profile because number one, the late payments are not impacting them right now because the credit score is based on a 24-month window. 24 months ago, this person was not behind. Number two, if I did dispute this account, what I would send out for is a payment history letter. I would send a payment history letter specifically to Capital One, and I would ask them to send me their full payment history because there's no way that they're 100% on TransUnion, 100% on Equifax, but now you're giving me past due. Now, if you pay attention, the reason that it's different is because they were not reporting further back. Y'all see that? For TransUnion, it's only reporting back to 2020. Equifax is only reporting back to 2020, but Experian is reporting back to 2017. Capital One is notorious for being late when it comes to reporting on the payments. So I always leverage asking for the payment history because sometimes they say the person was late in January versus versus them actually being late in February. So I can use their own statement. I would black out everything else, make a copy of just that showing that they were on time for that month, and then I would send it to the credit bureau. I can go over the two that I cover. The rest I cover. There are 5 components of the FICO score makeup. I only cover 2 on this call because I do give that to my mentorship team. So we go over the full credit score breakdown. But the 2 heaviest weighted portion of your credit score is your payment history and your utilization. Your payment history is worth 35% of your overall score, which equates to 192.5 points roughly, and your utilization is worth 165 points roughly, and that's worth 30% of your overall score. So just those 2 points right there are worth 65 points of your overall 100 score. So if you're not paying on time and you're not utilizing your credit card appropriately, you're dead in the water, right? I have to say goodbye tonight. Oh, okay. Thanks for coming, Chris. Okay. So if you're trying to talk to your client, you're going to let them know that, hey, if you're looking to get to a 700 club, the goal is to stay under 20%. If you're looking to be in the 800 club, the goal is to be under 10 to 7% of their utilization. So that would be like the curated conversation that you would have. So for me, would I personally dispute this profile? No, because depending on number one, depending on who my client is going to apply for, I have education that I can say, okay, well, I know creditors that only pull from TransUnion. So she has an account that's more than 4 years old, reporting on TransUnion, on-time payments. She has an account that's 4 years old that's reporting on Equifax. If I were to use Experian, I would know, okay, these particular creditors do not want you to have a late payment within the last 6 months. She does not fall in that category. So is it worth me necessarily tackling this? It's not really a big issue. Would I tackle it for my client? Absolutely. If they're like, hey, I want to get as many late payments off as I can, I will send them the goodwill letter that they can send to the CEO. I will also send them I will also go ahead and dispute the late verbiage that comes with the software. Okay, great questions, guys. I love it. I love it. Okay, so once you are done selecting, now you can tell the system exactly what you are going to be attacking. That is where this guide comes into play. This guide is telling you what letter you're picking, what attack variation. If you have the pro, you're able to click on the creditor, and then it tells you about the secondary bureaus that you're going to go through. And it does give you the option to do handwritten versus non-handwritten. It does depend on when you're doing it. And as you can see, this is all first class. So you do not have to send any of these letters certified. Okay. So you would come here, you would go to Punch of Fury. The first round is handwritten. If you guys had the pro, you would just click this option right here. And then you would select Supreme Boosted. Okay. Because I have that free attack, remember, I don't have any money in my account, so I'm not paying $17. All I have to do is hit start round, hit confirm, type confirm, hit start round, and it will generate the letter for me. If I wanted a creditor letter generated, I would have to do it at the same time when I'm doing the attack. When it comes to these secondary letters that's under the word static, I would come back here, go to static letters. Since I have already selected the accounts I want disputed, I would then go to the appropriate secondary bureaus that are attached to that particular profile. And then I would send those letters out. Remember, you have to have at least $1 in your account in order for the static letters to go out. And then I would be able to select. If I wanted the system to mail the letters out for me, I would simply just click mail out. Remember, it's telling you that you want to send the letters out single-sided, not double-sided. So I would come into the system, I would change it from double to single. I don't have to change the color. I don't have to change first class. And this is how much it's going to cost me to mail. So if I don't have this money in the bucket, I would simply cancel, go here, add the money to my bucket, come back and click mail out. Okay. If I don't have the system mail it out for me, when I go to letters, the system is going to tell me that I have downloaded the letters. So you have to make sure that you download the letters if you are printing it yourself. So you would physically click download all, print, and mail it out. Does that make sense, guys? Let me know if you guys have any questions. All right, and then you have access to the history where you can see what letters have been sent. You can also see when you last pulled the last credit report. It also tells you the information as to how many days have passed since you've last done something in the system for the client. And remember, the goal is every 35 days you're sending something out for your client. If you have had a break, so if it's been more than 60 days since you have sent a letter out for a client, two things I want you to pay attention to. Number one, you want to make sure that you start over, and you want to also make sure you're educating the client that if you were in credit repair and you took a break, that you need to give me 60 to 90 days to see results again. Okay. You can see the invoices as well as notes if you're in pro. So what I normally use this for, if I have a client that has bankruptcy, if I have sent off a 1099, I plug those notes in there for my clients so that they're able, so I can see what I've done. I have some clients that don't have secondary accounts with certain secondary bureaus, specific to what I'm trying to dispute for them. So like for bankruptcy, I think there's like 5 places that holds the bankruptcy record. So I will go ahead and go through there. So I will put that note in here so I know exactly who I sent it to, what I've done, all of those things. So any questions on what we have covered thus far? Let me see if there's anything in the chat. Any questions, guys? Looks like everyone got it. Miss Detrice, did this flow work well for you? Do you have any questions about what we've done? What I will say is the only difference is if you're using a different credit repair software, you do have to log into their credit repair site, download the form as an HTML, and then put it over here. So that's the major difference between Credit Dyno and the others. Any questions, guys? Let me know. I want to make sure I'm helping.
Hey,
Hey.
hey, I have a question. Actually, if we could go back to I guess the Capital One, what, I guess the Capital One question.
Sure.
So I guess my question earlier was kind of like, like you were saying, what if the client had recent late payments, like two late payments? Well, let's just say the client had three accounts and they had three late payments
Mm-hmm.
in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Would I need to do anything specific?
Nope, the
Um,
system will generate
oh,
a letter specifically to late payments, my love. So there's
gotcha. Okay.
nothing extra you have to do. Previously, we did not have late payment letters loaded in the system, and that's why there was an icon here. But now we do have late payment letters in the rotation. So the system will automatically generate verbiage specifically to late payments. It's not going to ask them to remove the account anymore.
Okay. Okay.
Great
Gotcha.
question.
Thank you.
So
Thank
if
you.
it's more recent, yes, there's nothing you have to do. The AI picks up the information that it's late payment.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Great question. Any other questions, my love?
No, that was the last one.
Okay. And who got another question? I'm here, y'all. Come on now. Well, my husband come get me.
I have a question.
Yes, how can I help?
Good evening. I'm sorry if I'm like replying late or anything.
You're fine.
You guys are kind of delayed on my end and also skipping. So I'm struggling over here a little bit.
I'm sorry.
But
I saw that you were in the queue earlier and I let you in, but for some reason it wouldn't load. I was like, what happened? Are you in California?
yeah, maybe it's my internet. I have no idea what's going on.
Are you in California?
Oh no, I'm in Philly.
Oh, you're in Philly. I don't know why. Yeah, you were here earlier. I saw your name and I clicked you in, and then it just kept loading and it didn't cut you through. But I'm here, my love. How can I support? What can I do for you tonight?
So my question is if the because I've been using this system, I guess, for like a better terms, for a little bit.
Mhm.
But of course, I'm new to it. But I did get a response from the credit bureau. So
Mhm.
now I'm curious, do I repeatedly keep replying? Do I respond with constantly using the system instead of me finding my own verbiage or having my own verbiage and sending and responding to the bureaus that are sending out letters?
That's a great question. So it depends on how much knowledge you have. If you have knowledge on your own and you already have a sequence that you know what to respond to, then by all means,
Mhm.
you can go ahead and create your own responses. If you do not, that is why we gave you the flow so that you can pick the next round of letters while you're going through. The goal was when the software was created originally was for, again, credit repair organizations. But as we started going through, we noticed that it was more individuals that were coming into the platform. So they wanted to know, where can I get continued education? Where, what can I do next? So if you're going through and getting licensed, or you're going through training, you're going through classes, then you may be able to say, I'm not going to respond with a Dispute Panda letter this month. I know exactly what I need to write in response here because I've gotten the knowledge up under my belt from the FCRA. If you have that knowledge, you're able to do it. If you do not, this series of letters with the guide is telling you what you're doing month 1 through month 12, if you need a full 12-month sequence. Does that make sense?
Okay, cool beans. Yes, it does. So wait, so out of the 12-month sequence,
Mhm.
will I be able to see any differences for anyone, or will it be in that 12-month, or will it be in the 3 month
It
time? I guess
depends
that's
on
what
what
I'm
your
trying to.
client is doing. So, credit repair is contingent on the client and their activity, because I want to be clear that credit repair only works if there's inaccuracies, errors, outdated information. Something has to be wrong that we are leveraging the law to get removed. Because according to the law, there are certain things that you have to have on the credit report in order for you to report that debt. If you are not following that law, then legally that debt has to be removed, right? That doesn't mean you don't owe the debt. That just means, according to the laws that have set, your company is not following it. So until you follow it, you need to go ahead and come up off of here.
Right.
Right. So but there's a dance, right? So there are things that your client needs to do as well, that is going to impact their credit score, as well as you writing these letters to get these accounts off. If you are writing the letters, because I've had it where a client, I've gotten all of their collections off, and when they were done with me, they had a 500 credit score, right? Their credit score was so low because they would not get a credit card. They would not get an auto loan. They would not get even the options that do not hit your inquiry or do a soft pull for them. They would not get any of that. But they were happy that the errors and the outdated information and the multiple names, they were happy that all of that stuff was gone, but they were not willing to do the work that they need to make sure that they had a higher credit score. So their score stayed at 500. Did I do my job? Yeah. All the outdated stuff was gone. All the errors were gone. But then whatever was left, we then had a conversation about how are we going to settle it, what we were going to do a pay per delete on, right? We were having those conversations. So it's not just about the letters. The letters are great, and it all depends on what your client is doing. Because if you write the letter and you delete everything, but your client is still having late payments, what are we doing? If you're writing all the letters and you get things deleted and you settle debts and you get things wiped off, but your client is still using 100% of their available credit, what are we doing? Because your available credit is worth 165 points. Your payment history is worth 192.5 points. If your client is closing accounts, your age is worth 82 points. What exactly are you doing on the back end to leverage everything out? Does that make sense? Thanks, Ms.
It
Pretty
does.
Washington. You have a good one. So you wanna make sure that there's creating a balance and a level of accountability on both ends for your client. But to answer your question, if you are new, if you are not seasoned, if you're still learning the laws, if you're going through training, I have a mentorship program. There's a host of people out here that teach credit repair. There's sites that you can go on to get certified. If you're in the process of learning, this software is giving you if you do not know how to dispute, here are the letters to be able to do so. And then once you have all of that under your belt, you can then come back and say, okay, and one thing that I tell everyone in every class is track what you've done. I track every single round that goes out, what was removed, how much was removed, what was the name of the creditor. Because now if I have another client that comes in, no two files look alike, but if they did have, let's say, something with Santander or something with Wells Fargo, and I know that this one particular round gets that particular account off, I might go and start with that particular letter. If that's if that's the account that's creating problems for my client, I might not start with a Supreme Boosted. I might go to a regular attack because that regular attack took off that Wells Fargo for a different client. Right? But you have to kind of be tracking as you're going through. I hope I made sense.
No, that makes plenty of sense. And then I'm sorry, y'all, to have so many questions. And then my last question
Go ahead,
is,
Chair. Ask your questions. That's what they got me here for, honey.
okay, and then my
What's your
final
next one?
question would be, I'm sorry, oh my God. Oh, you said mentorships and things like that. Are you providing that information, like where to go for certifications and things and such like that?
In my mentorship, yes. So in my course module, I give you, there's videos that are already in there. There's content that's already in there. And I do tell you where I personally got my certification from. I tell you where I get my bond from. I don't gatekeep anything. So if you're in my mentorship, you literally have access to it all. Everything I have, I'm a part of a mastermind group as well. So if you have questions, I actually bring some of the people from my mastermind in to the mentorship randomly, and they will cover specific topics. Like I have some people that are beast at litigation. I have some people that are a beast at student loans. So I'll have them in periodically throughout the mentorship so that we can have deep dialogue on that. But yeah, I cover all of that in my mentorship program. And I will drop it here. I just realized that.
You provide that? Are you providing it, or?
Yeah, I'm going to drop it in the chat. So if anyone
Are you providing
does,
the information?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna drop give me 1 second. I'm actually trying to grab the link right now. My mentorship is $37 a month or $79 a month. We do have a mastermind where we do an in-person full group where all of us speak. We do that kind of twice a year. So you guys will get discounted tickets for the mastermind to come in and we talk credit, like literally all day. We're talking hard money lending, we're talking business credit for PG and non-PG. So my mastermind group, we hold things like that, and people that are in our mentorship group get first access to the tickets before we launch it out live as well. So I did drop the link in the chat. I have 2 mentorship pricing. One is 37 and the other one is 79.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate all the
It is
information.
my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Anything else? Any other questions, concerns, or comments for me? Gotta make sure I delete that here.
Wait, I think I got one more question.
I'm
sorry.
here. What you got? No, you're fine.
So when you say you're tracking your I understand clearly because again I have a client in the system that I'm currently working on. So
Yep.
I understand what you mean when you say tracking, but if they have a bunch of things that they want me to work on, am I tracking them all at once or individually? Although I know that there are different things, like there are some late payments, there are some collections, there are some inquires. What would you recommend or
So,
suggest?
I want to make sure I understand the question properly. So you're saying, let's say this is your client, right? And when you're looking at your client, they have late payments, they have public
All
records,
types of
they have
stuff.
inquiries.
Oh Lord, it's a lot.
Right? I'm disputing everything because the letter is going to chop it up based on what the max is that's allowed for that particular letter. So I don't, first of all, number one, I dispute inquiries every single round. I teach my back office every single round. We're teaching inquiries because inquiries are super duper flipping hard to get off. Okay. So I'm arguing with you, I'm debating with you. So every single round,
Yeah.
if this inquiry is not attached to an open and active account, I'm disputing it every single round. I let the system split up the letters in accordance because so I'm gonna show you an example. When you go over here to the attacks, some letters tell you it only does 10 inquiries, it only does 9 inquiries. So if you're doing a different flow, because we had an older flow that was like black, red,
Right.
white, or whatever. If you're doing the older flow, all that means is if your client has 20 inquiries, well, if they're doing the round kick, there's only going to be 9 on one letter, 9 on another letter, and then 2 on the last one, right? Like that's basically how it's going to be broken down. So you don't have to do anything. The system is already going to do it for you.
I'm sorry, I'm following you.
Yeah. So you don't never have to worry about that. So I dispute everything because especially when I was paying the $17, or I was getting bang for my buck, baby. Bang for my buck. Any other questions, guys?
Okay, but so all right, the following, I guess the follow-up question to or the second part to that question was, how do you determine, or I guess by the tracking is how you can figure out which round works for that specific problem? Like how do
Correct.
you gauge that? Okay, just by the tracking?
Yeah, because you're able to see when you look at the report, you're able to see what was deleted, right? So I can clearly see, okay, I deleted 4 items off the last round. So the last round that I did for this client, let me go back to history. And 1, 3. So, I don't know why I'm doing this the hard way. This was the last round that I did. It was the Punch of Fury Supreme Boosted, right? So I can know, well, I did the Punch of Fury Supreme Boosted, or it would be the round before that. So I would be able to see what the round before that was. So if we're looking at it, the round before that was Punch of Fury regular, because that was round 7 I did. That was Supreme. So I would have on my tracking grid in my Google form, I would literally have Punch of Fury. I would have the client's name. I would have the date that I sent it out, the letter that I selected, and then I would be writing down the 4 accounts that were deleted. So if it says Cornerstone was deleted, I would write down Cornerstone. I would write down how much that Cornerstone debt was. And that way, when I go and have another client that has Cornerstone, I'll know, okay, the Punch of Fury regular is the one that worked for Cornerstone. So now before I go anywhere else, if that person only has Cornerstone and let's say they have Truist Bank on there, that's what I'm going to focus on, because I don't need to go all over the place, because I already know that this letter works for that particular account while I'm going through. Does that make sense?
It does, but I struggle to hear some of it only because you keep going in and out. Is this I did hear that this is recorded. Do you send out this recording for us to
Nope, the recording is in the
to
community
reference?
and it's on YouTube. So if you go to the community and click on Dispute
Awesome. So we can
Panda,
reference this.
yep, you could do past events, or you can go to YouTube and just type in Dispute Panda. You'll be able to see all the deets.
Girlfriend, I appreciate you so much again. Thank you.
It is my pleasure. It is my pleasure, honey. Any other questions, concerns, or comments, guys? Anything else? All right. Well, I want to say thank you for giving me y'all 2 hours of y'all time. Okay, on today, if y'all have any questions, concerns, or comments, you can definitely reach out to me. For those of you guys that were able to email me earlier, I will go ahead and respond in the morning because it is now 10 o'clock and my husband finna go to sleep. Okay, so I'm finna act grown for a little bit. I'm gonna act like I'm an adult and stay up for a little bit. Try to get him to go for a walk with me. I want to say thank you so much for coming on here and giving me your time. My goal is to help you be a beast in these credit streets. If you guys want to book a call with me, the link is in the bio. If you have questions, remember customer service is here. Our 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Just hit the contact tab. Make sure you're grabbing everything out of the chat. And I did drop the link for the mentorship. We do have a mentorship class on Saturday. I'm looking forward to it. If you guys have any questions, concerns, or comments, I look forward to hearing them. And I hope you have an amazing remainder of your week. No questions. All hearts and minds are clear, as they say in church. You've not been to church, y'all. All hearts and minds clear. I think I answered everything in the chat. Yep, I answered everything in the chat. All right, y'all have a blessed night. Thank you.